Okay, shop talking. I wanted to talk about Ender, strangely enough. Ender is one of the characters in the new game, and Ender points out how challenging it was to make a one-player mode the way that I did. 6 scenarios, each very different, two not even using the map, just turn it into a card game. I bragged in first edition that the rules were so robust that allowed me to be concise and allowed you to bend it in many ways without the game breaking. And I've taken advantage of that. The solo mode was an 8-page rule book, and it takes glory and does origami. I hope that some people play it. I don't know how many people will. I know that there's some interest in solo game in the game industry, much more than there was 10 or 20 years ago. But to play through 6 scenarios, we'll see. This Glory is not marketed as a legacy game. It isn't. But with the solo mode, there was a lot of demand for um, highlighting the different heroes. So instead of one solo mode you could play with any given hero, each scenario plays one or two of the heroes and kind of highlights them. Gives a tiny bit of lore. It all ties together into one story, ending in this hero who's now called Ender, who in previous iterations were the Jinn, and in an earlier iteration, the Dryad. And this guy's art concept does not belong in the game. If you take a look at all the characters when you get them out, there's 9 of them side by side. I was really going with the art direction of being a hero is not about being perfect. As a matter of fact, imperfection and heroism are flip sides of a coin. It is your own uncomfortably imperfect self thrown in the right direction with your deep effort. You know, to make the world a better place, to just be even a slightly something, some situation even slightly better, sometimes takes an enormous amount of effort as being a hero. So the knight is too young, too slight. Um, Two of the players are too old. Nobody has a big weapon or big armor. Even the golem is not like a mobile game golem. It's a boom, 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 got him. It's like this slight figure. It looks like it's trying to be happy. It's got a cracked mask, and it's got um, a stick with a ribbon on it over its shoulder. I mean, how sad is that? But the golem is making do. It's to make something, right? That's Gollum is constructed, making something out of whatever you got. So this is the theme. And then you've got Ender. And Ender is muscly. He's got these gold standy up tattoos that are probably magical. He's got a big axe. He's got a giant jaw. He's super tall. He's the comic book hero, and that's out of sync with everything else. So what gives? Well, first edition backers will know that I like everything to be only 90% what it is. So the battle deck includes something in there that's not actually battle-y. Fate deck, same thing. Layered deck, same thing. So on and so forth. So that I think philosophically the way we categorize the world is always imperfect. We impose categories. So they're always only roughly true, right? So I think that this helps the vibe of the game, gives it some of that je ne sais pas. That's stuff that doesn't need to be there, but yeah, somehow helps the feel of the game. So Ender. So how do you justify this art? Well, now the one-player mode, the last scenario kind of says it's been generations since this first scenario, like a couple generations, maybe one generation. Each scenario is years. Second scenario is called Year of the Dead, just hints to time passing. Anyway, in the fifth scenario, the second last one, it seems like, prophecy's going to come true. Everything's all good. But in the sixth one, you discover that the castle is overtaken. It's all bad. The boss from the fifth scenario is back. And you've got Totem, which is the sort of this little green goblin-y familiar type looking thing, is the second coming of the druid, who's long gone. And Ender is summoned by Totem by doing this quest that hints at heroes past. And Ender is supposed to be all the accumulation of the spirit of the hero's past that you've played. So he's summoned, and he's this like superhuman, so that the art is justified in the end because it pays homage. It's not like this guy's like a real jock hero and everybody else is just the secondary type hero trying their best but not as cool. No, rather this is like showing what they're like on the inside. You know, it's a summoned spiritual thing, manifest and embodied. So I think that's cool. That's the end of my speech. Okay, I do enjoy making these videos. I make one I don't overdo it. Don't make it every update, but every few updates. Hope it entertains a couple people. Look forward to making the next one. Bye for now.